Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Samantha and I wanted to chat with you today about symptoms. How to know if you're dealing with hormonal imbalance, what type of symptoms would indicate that, and then I'd like to talk about a way to reframe the way that we view symptoms. Okay, so let's start off with symptoms of hormonal imbalance. What can that look like for each of us? Well, that could look like extreme fatigue. It could look like anxiety and depression. It may not always be physical. It might manifest itself as more emotional or mental. And it could be period issues. It might be a lot of pain and PMS before your period. That's actually not as normal as we make it out to be in our society. And it could be a missing period or a really heavy period. It could be hair loss or hair growth in places where you're like, oh, I don't know if I should be growing hair there. It could be all of these things. It could be one or a combination of many of them. It could be skin issues. A lot of times gut issues and hormonal imbalances will manifest themselves through the skin. That could be anything from eczema to acne. So our skin is a huge indicator of overall health and well-being, and it can be an indicator of hormonal imbalance. It could be sleep issues, and that could be trouble falling asleep or waking throughout the night sweats, or waking up and just being like, did I even sleep last night? I feel exhausted. And so it could be any of these things. All right, it can manifest itself very differently for each of us. And there are lots of hormones in our bodies. So your hormonal imbalance could look different from your friends. Okay, and so these are all symptoms, right? And a lot of times in our society, we're just programmed and taught to view our bodies this way and to view symptoms this way. But we tend to hyper focus on the symptom and trying to get relief from that particular symptom. And then we focus on the next symptom and want relief from that. And the reality is that our health is much more interconnected with than that. And that all of our systems are not really as separate as we like to think of them. And our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health is all intertwined. And so it can be really helpful to look at our health, to view our health and our symptoms in a more holistic way, looking at them from different angles. And so I would encourage you, instead of seeing the symptoms as the problem and trying to whack them out one by one, let's view symptoms and reframe this a bit and think of symptoms as messengers. It's our body's way of asking for help. Hello, something's not working here. I'm not getting the support that I need. And there are needs that are not being met. That's what your body is ultimately communicating. There may be more specific messages there based on the symptoms that you're experiencing, the collective symptoms that you're experiencing. But ultimately, when we boil it all down and we look at that, what our bodies are trying to say to us, it's that we have needs that are not being met. And those needs that aren't being met may be physical or emotional or mental or spiritual. And they're, most likely it's a combination of these. And a lot of times we aren't dealing with stress effectively. A lot of times we're trying to live at a pace that we were never meant to live at. And so there is what's required of you in order to address those underlying needs that aren't being met, and even to figure out what those underlying needs are. It is going to require you to slow down a bit. Or you really can't skip that part. You're going to have to get into your body and notice what symptoms you're actually experiencing. Are there ones that you have been ignoring or stuffing down? Might be emotional, might be physical. A lot of us learn to live through a lot of pain, and we learn to live through a lot of discomfort, and our bodies are having to give louder and louder symptoms in order to get our attention. And so we're going to have to slow down. We're going to have to get into our bodies and notice what is actually happening. And then we're going to have to tap into our own intuition a bit. And so anytime that you're working with, whether it's a health coach or other type of practitioner, you really want to work with someone who values and recognizes your body's innate wisdom, because ultimately you are the only one who can decide what is right for you. There is really great information about the human body and about hormones and about the foundational needs that humans and living things need in order to not just survive, but to actually thrive and to feel well and be able to enjoy their lives. Because that's ultimately what you want, right? Is to enjoy your life. And so there's lots of foundational information, but ultimately you're the one who's going to decide how it looks to apply that information to your unique life. And so we always want to end with you, and you tapping into your innate wisdom that is held in your body and your soul, and tapping into that so that you are able to apply basic, foundational, important information to your life in a way that resonates and that feels good, and that will that you'll be able to take with you throughout the rest of your life. And also, your body changes, right? Your body's going to change throughout your lifetime, and so you don't necessarily want to always be dependent on others in order to tell you what to do. There's so much value in having a third-party person to walk that path with you, and to navigate and give guidance and support as needed. But ultimately, you're the one who's living in your body, and you're able to tap into, the symptoms that are coming up for you. Like, okay, this is no longer working for me. I'm going to need to change gears here and make some changes in my life. And so ultimately, what I'm wanting to send you away with here is the idea that your body is not broken and your body is not dumb. Your body holds so much intelligence and wisdom, and so it's actually communicating with you. And so we can tap into that. We can learn so much from that. And so I just want to send you with this idea that your symptoms, the particular symptoms that you're experiencing, are not the problems in themselves. But what they are messengers that are indicating that you have underlying needs that are not being met, and that your lifestyle at this point is not working for you. All right. So if you like this type of content, if this resonates with you, please subscribe to this channel. I will be adding lots more information and videos in the future. All right. We'll connect soon. Bye.